All right. Let's dive into a world that I think is really fascinating, and that's the world of fragrance.
Oh, yeah.
But specifically, scents that try to capture the spirit of New York City.
Hmm.
Our guide today is this fun article from Fragrances Finder. It's called The Top 5 Scents to Wear in New York City, a guide to capturing the city's spirit.
I love that.
Yeah,
Capturing the city spirit.
right.
So cool.
So before we get into the specific fragrances, I'm curious if you had to pick just one smell
Mm.
that screams New York City to you, what would it be?
Oh, man, that's tough. Um, I think I would have to go with that mix of hot dogs and exhaust fumes you get when you're walking by a street vendor. I know it's not the most glamorous,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's very distinctly New York.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so the article kicks things off with Le Labo Santal 33, which they call a true urban icon.
Hmm.
It's got those smoky, woody notes.
Right.
And apparently it's a big hit with the fashion-forward crowd.
Santal 33. You know, it's so interesting because it's almost become a cliche at this point.
Yeah.
It's like it's trying to be the scent of New York.
Right.
But you know what? There's a reason why it's so popular.
Yeah.
It's got cardamom, violet, papyrus, cedarwood, and it all comes together to create this warmth, a little spice.
Mm.
It's got that effortless cool that you see in a lot of New Yorkers.
I was reading that the perfumer who actually created Santal 33 was inspired by the Marlboro Man ads.
Oh, wow.
Not specifically New York,
Interesting.
but it seems like the city has kind of adopted it,
yeah.
especially downtown, the creative scene.
You know, maybe that's part of the appeal. It's not
Yeah.
trying to be New York. It just IS.
Yeah.
Like a friend who walks into the room and everyone's like, what are you wearing?
Oh, totally. I can picture someone wearing Santal 33 to like a gallery opening
yeah.
at Chelsea
Yes.
or grabbing a coffee in one of those super trendy minimalist cafes.
Love it.
All right, up next we have Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This one's all about boldness and flirtation.
Yeah.
The article calls it the perfect fragrance for a night out in the city.
Lost cherry is definitely a statement.
Yeah.
Black cherry, bitter almond, and a little hint of rose.
Mm.
It's sweet and seductive, almost a little mischievous.
Mm.
You know when you take that first bite of a really decadent dessert?
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be good, but you're not quite sure what to expect.
I'm getting major night out in the meatpacking district vibes from this one.
Yeah.
Like dressed to the nines, sipping cocktails on a rooftop bar. City lights are twinkling all around you.
And you know what else it's got? That little touch of danger.
Oh, yeah.
Which totally fits the energy of a night out in New York where anything could happen.
All right, shifting gears to pure luxury now.
Okay.
Maison Francis, Kirkdian Baccarat Rouge 540.
Mm-hmm.
This one is like the olfactory equivalent of the Upper East Side.
Wow.
Elegance and sophistication all the way.
Baccarat Rouge, it's interesting. It's become such a status symbol fragrance. It's associated with wealth and exclusivity, but honestly, even beyond all that, it's just a beautifully crafted scent.
Yeah.
You've got saffron, jasmine, amberwood, and ambergris all blended to create this warmth, radiance,
Mm.
and it lasts forever.
Yeah, I've heard it described as expensive smelling.
Well, I mean, it does kind of have that, like, I can afford to smell this good vibe.
Yeah.
But it's also just so well balanced and complex.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be trendy. It just gets IS.
It's like that little black dress that never goes out of style.
Yeah,
You could wear it to a gala at Lincoln Center
Yeah.
or a fancy dinner on the Upper East Side. It just works.
totally.
All right, let's move on to Byredo Gypsy Water.
Okay.
The article describes this one as a breath of fresh air amidst the chaos of the city,
Oh, yeah.
bringing a little nature into the concrete jungle.
Gypsy water is a really nice contrast to some of the heavier scents that we've been talking about.
Right.
It's all about freedom, adventure, and a connection to nature.
Mm-hmm.
You've got bergamot, lemon, pepper, juniper berries, incense.
Yeah.
It's fresh and outdoorsy, but still very sophisticated.
This is making me want to take a walk through Central Park right now.
Right.
I could see myself wearing gypsy water on a crisp fall day,
Yeah.
bundled up in a scarf, crunching leaves under my boots.
You know, it's funny you say that because
Right.
I feel like it's such an escape from the city scent,
Yeah.
even if you're still physically in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
All right, last but not least, we have Bon Nos 9 New York Nights.
Okay.
This one is specifically designed to be an ode to New York City,
Wow.
trying to capture the energy and the diversity of its people.
New York Nights is definitely going for that melting pot vibe.
Mhm.
You've got gardenia, carnation, jasmine, patchouli, sandalwood, caramel.
Yeah.
even a touch of coffee in there.
Wow.
It's like they took every scent of New York and threw it in a blender.
It's a lot.
Right.
But I see what they were going for.
It's ambitious.
Yeah.
It's like the olfactory equivalent of Times Square.
Yeah.
Just a sensory overload.
Well, maybe that's the point.
Maybe.
Maybe New York Nights is the scent of someone who embraces all the chaos and contradictions of the city.
Right.
Someone who thrives on that energy and diversity.
Definitely not a scent for the faint of heart.
Right.
This is for someone who wants to stand out, who wants to be noticed.
So we've got 5 very different interpretations of New York in fragrance form. I'm curious to hear from our listener.
Yeah.
Are any of these scents speaking to you, or do you have a completely different idea of what a New York fragrance should smell like?
What does your New York smell like?
Let us know.
It's funny, isn't it, how a smell can just transport you back
Yeah.
to like a specific place or time?
Cool.
And even if you've never been to New York, right? Like some of these fragrances might make you think about what the city is like in your head.
Yeah, it's like building this mental map of a place based on smell alone. So for our listener who maybe hasn't experienced all the nuances of New York City, let's try to break down each scent
Okay.
and see what kind of New York story it's trying to tell.
Okay, I love that.
All right, so let's go back to Santal 33.
All right.
That smoky woodiness, the cardamom, the violet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about smelling good, right?
No.
It's like projecting an attitude.
Yeah, there's that effortless cool we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not trying too hard, but I still have great taste.
Yeah.
And maybe even a little bit of rebellion in there, too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm rejecting those mainstream fragrances.
Right.
I'm doing my own thing.
So maybe Santal 33 is the scent of like a young artist hustling in Brooklyn,
Right.
creating something new and exciting.
Love it.
Someone who's not afraid to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, like they're wearing their art on their sleeve,
Hmm.
but in a subtle, intriguing way.
All right, let's talk about Lost Cherry.
Okay.
This one's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, bolder, more in your face.
It's giving main character energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're the star of your own New York adventure.
Lost Cherry is definitely playing on the fantasy of New York nightlife.
Right.
You know, all those glamorous parties.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling that anything could happen.
It's not a shy scent.
Not at all.
And that cherry note is so interesting.
Yeah, it's sweet and playful, but
Yeah.
also a little dark and mysterious.
Yeah, like you're not sure if they're going to steal your heart
Right.
or your wallet.
Exactly.
All right, now Baccarat Rouge 540.
Okay.
This one feels almost regal.
It does.
Yeah.
Like old money.
Yeah.
Someone who's used to the finer things in life,
Hmm.
who walks into a room and everyone just like stops.
And it's not even on purpose.
It's effortless.
Yeah.
I actually read that Baccarat Rouge was inspired by
Oh.
the clinking of crystal glasses.
Wow.
So even the inspiration
Yeah.
has that element of luxury.
It really is like the scent of success,
Mhm.
but not in a flashy way.
Right. It's
Yeah.
quiet confidence.
Yeah.
Impeccable taste.
So maybe this is our Upper East Side socialite,
Oh, yeah.
attending charity galas,
Mhm.
sipping champagne at art auctions.
Totally. But there's also this warmth to Baccarat Rouge
Yeah.
that I think makes it feel approachable,
Yes.
not intimidating.
Right.
It's not just about wealth.
Mhm.
It's about having that certain aura.
Yeah. Like they've mastered
Yeah,
being effortlessly elegant.
totally.
All right. Now for something completely different, Gypsy Water.
Okay, yeah.
This one's all about escaping the city,
Hmm.
even if it's just in your mind.
It's taking a deep breath of fresh air,
Yeah.
you know, amidst all the concrete and skyscrapers.
Mm.
There's a real sense of freedom and wanderlust in Gypsy Water.
Yeah.
A desire to connect with nature.
And it's not your typical outdoorsy scent.
Right, it's not that pine sol kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's got the incense, the bergamot, the juniper berries.
Yeah. It still feels very stylish and sophisticated.
It's like you just came back from a weekend getaway upstate.
Yeah.
You're feeling refreshed and grounded, but you still have that New York edge.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Maybe this is our free spirit,
Yeah.
the one who finds peace in the chaos
Mm-hmm.
by escaping to Central Park
Right.
or taking a ferry ride to Governor's Island.
Yeah.
They appreciate the city,
Yeah.
but they need those moments of serenity
Totally.
to kind of recharge.
And, you know, maybe that's a very New York thing, too.
Yeah.
Right. Finding your own little oasis amidst the hustle and bustle.
Absolutely. All right, last but not least, we have Bond Knot 9 New York Nights.
Okay.
This one's a bit of a wild card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It really is.
trying to capture all the different facets of the city.
It's like they took all the different scents of New York and threw them in a blender.
You've got florals,
Mhm.
you've got gourmand notes,
Mhm.
you've even got a hint of coffee in there.
It's a lot.
I respect the ambition,
Right. It's ambition.
but it's a lot going on. It's like they're trying to create the olfactory equivalent of Times Square.
Yeah,
Just this sensory overload.
exactly.
But maybe that's the point.
Maybe.
Maybe New York Nights is the scent of someone who embraces
Yeah,
all the chaos and contradictions of the city.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone who thrives on the energy and the diversity.
it's definitely not a scent for the faint of heart. This is for someone who wants to stand out,
Yeah.
who wants to be noticed.
So there you have it. 5 very different interpretations of New York in fragrance form.
I know. It's crazy, right?
But we want to hear from our listener now.
Yeah.
What does your perfect New York scent smell like?
Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking through your favorite part of the city.
Yeah.
What smells come to mind?
Is it the aroma of fresh bagels from your favorite deli?
Yeah.
Or the salty air along the Brooklyn waterfront?
Or maybe something totally unique to you.
Yeah.
Something that no one else would think of when they think of New York. But for you, it has a special meaning.
Right?
Whatever those scents are, hold on to them.
Yeah.
Because they're a part of your New York story.
We've been talking about all these specific fragrances and how they
Yeah.
represent New York. But I think what's even more fascinating to me is how scent connects to memory in general.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
like one little whiff of something,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're flooded with all these emotions and memories from the past.
It really is. Like, for me, the smell of sunscreen always takes me right back to childhood summers at the beach with my family.
Oh.
And whenever I smell cinnamon, I'm instantly back in my grandma's kitchen during the holidays.
It's like those smells become bookmarks in our brains,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're tied to these specific experiences and emotions.
And it's not always positive, right? Sometimes a scent can trigger a memory that you'd rather forget.
Oh, totally.
Like for years, the smell of a certain cologne would give me this wave of anxiety because it reminded me of this horrible job interview I had.
It's incredible how powerful that connection is.
Yeah.
Scientists think it's because our sense of smell is directly linked to the limbic system, which is the part of our brain that processes emotions and memories.
So basically, scents just bypass all that logical stuff
Yeah.
and go straight to our feelings.
It's like a shortcut
Yeah.
to our emotions.
Which is why fragrance can be such a powerful tool for storytelling.
Exactly.
Like all the scents we talked about today.
Mhm.
Santal 33 with its cool, artistic vibe.
Right.
Lost Cherry and its seductive energy.
Mhm.
Baccarat Rouge and that aura of elegance.
Right.
Each one is telling a story about a specific kind of New York experience.
It's so cool.
And what's even cooler is that those stories will be different for everyone.
Right, exactly.
Like what triggers a memory for me might mean something completely different to you.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's personal, it's subjective,
Mhm.
and it just adds another layer of depth to our experiences.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of New York City scents,
Yeah.
I really want to encourage our listener to think about their own personal smellscape of the city.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
What does your New York smell like?
Yeah.
What scents define your New York story?
What smells transport you back to a specific time and place?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the aroma of fresh bagels from your favorite deli,
Ooh.
or the salty air along the Brooklyn waterfront.
Or maybe it's something totally unique to you.
Yeah.
A scent that no one else would associate with New York.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, it holds a special meaning.
Whatever those scents are, cherish them
Yeah.
because they're a part of your personal history.
Totally.
They're woven into the fabric of your memories.
I love that.
And the next time you encounter one of those scents, just take a moment to appreciate the power they have to transport you back in time
Yeah.
and connect you to the city that never sleeps.